Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another AWE77 StarCraft 2 cast. Today's match is actually fresh off the press. This is from the Dreamhack Valencia EIZO Open, the second group stage. And it is a best-of-3 series between EG Stephano. Feels kind of weird saying that because this account is still from Millennium, and I casted a few replays of his back, and he was on that team. Who is the Blue Zerg at the top left of Ohana, and at the bottom right it is none other than the absolute Gosu Korean Terran Liquid TaeJa. I decided to put my HyuN versus Nerchio series on hold just because of how fantastic these games were. I was able to get my hands on a replay pack, and I watched them live on the live stream on Saturday of the event. They were just phenomenal. Absolute. I'm not going to ruin anything, but I have to say these were my favorite games from the entire weekend. Very, very nice event. I will probably be bringing you more games from that, but I'm not going to leave that TvZ in the dust. I'll just cast these 3 games first and then go back to it. So this match is actually pretty important because coming into it, both players were 2-0, I believe, in their group. So the winner of this match, the series as a whole, will get optimal seeding as opposed to their opponent, the loser, because they will be first in their group, and to be first in your group at a Dreamhack is always the absolute best possible scenario because you will get pitted up against a lower placed member of another group come the round of 16. This is from the round of 32. So Stephano is just going for a quick hatch kind of build. We'll probably see the pool follow up. He likes to go very heavy, like kind of a rushed economical build. He goes up to 3 bases really quick and drones hard, and then before you even know what hit you, he's got this full maxed out army. Against Protoss, he loves to use roaches. I believe versus Terran in the late game, he really likes his Ultralisk tech with a lot of cracklings who have the adrenal glands upgrade in addition to metabolic boost. So really, Stephano is getting his pool now at this point. TaeJa going to go for a fast CC. It will not be too long before our Blue Zerg scouts this. So these two players just on fire, on rival teams. EG and Liquid always battling it out for dominance in North America. And in the IPTL Premier Division, if you guys follow that, it's on a few nights a week. I really enjoy it. These guys played a few weeks ago. Their teams did, and it was at a point where Liquid was leading, and TaeJa, being essentially their ace, was pitted up against EG Stephano the night after he joined, I believe, and he was able to come out on top, Stephano, and ended up beating Hero the subsequent game after, giving EG the 5-4 victory in that best of 9 series. So definitely TaeJa going to be out for revenge here in this best of 3. He's actually throwing down another CC, so he's really trying to push this one into some mid or later game stages. He's not going for any sort of an all-in build. He's only now getting his refiner actually doubling up. So he's going to grab 3 command centers. The third one is building before Stephano's even started his third. The Frenchman, just such a strong macro player. He has 2 more queens on the way, so he's going for 4 queens total. I don't expect him to add on any more. You see sometimes a little bit more of the creep favoring Zergs go for 6. I believe Slivko did do that in my past series against MVP. That was another TvZ. I know I've been bringing you guys this matchup a lot lately, but trust me, this is well worth it. 6 queens, I think, is a little bit riskier. It helps to deal with banshees, but it sets you back on those minerals, takes up some supplies, and queens have a long build time. So to go for 6 queens off 3 bases, I believe it is, so that's 1 on each of these bases, and then 3 spreading creep is, I find, a little bit overdone, as you do get more of a map presence, but the Zerg are mobile as is. So what's necessarily the point in overextending your creep? It seems as though TaeJa actually moving in here to intercept the third. He's got a bunker building, and I do not believe Stephano has any military units on the field. This could actually be huge. He only has 1 wing. He can't even bring his queens over in time. These rocks are not destroyed. The bunker will soon finish. He's going to force this hatchery cancel, which means that Liquid TaeJa will have 3 bases up and mining before Stephano can even begin building his third. His bunker is now shortly going to finish. Stephano has actually done nothing to react to this, not even bringing the queens over. He just now cancels it in the nick of time. So TaeJa just going to bring his marines over here. He's got a starport on the way back at home. The harvester count favoring Stephano by 15, but don't forget about that base advantage for TaeJa. He's got 2 Hellions on the way and 3 SCVs producing at a time. These marines just stutter stepping, do not want to get killed by the queen here. I think they should just stick to their bunker and force Stephano to invest in either spines or wings. He's now just going to get a quick layer tech and metabolic boost. It seems as though his reaction was a little bit delayed at that point. I'm not sure what was going on. He might have been focused on scouting or spreading creep. Like I said, that could be another drawback of getting too many queens spreading creep, even though Stephano does only have 4 at the moment. He might have been way too focused on getting these pretty little creep tumors spread out across the map. I heard Hellions firing at some location on the map. They're just right here at the Zelnaga watchtower, able to see all the new spawning creep tumors. 18 wings here on the way from Stephano. He desperately needs to get that 30, so he just heads over to the 4th location and safely drops a hatchery. Does TaeJa have any idea of this? No, but he can likely predict it. I don't think he expects Stephano to sit off 2 bases forever. TaeJa still hasn't landed his 3rd orbital, though. He's just leaving it here kind of as a macro CC. So I'm not sure why he would build it and not lift it off right away. Maybe he's just trying to play it safe and focus on a good army count. He's gone for the 1-1-1 Hellion Banshee kind of opener with this nice aggression here at the 30. He's able to maybe salvage this bunker in time. He will. The Marines killed off, but definitely a worthy investment for TaeJa. He's able to kill off this queen here, now running into the mineral line. Only 1 drone has been roasted, but the rest are all beautifully lined up. The Hellions kiting wings. Can they get a good shot off? A couple more drones going down there. Can he get any more? No, a full surround there from the wings. Don't think that was exactly the best run from TaeJa. He was able to get 6 drone kills, but the resources lost is favoring his opponent. He's now going to move out here with just 1 Banshee. There are plenty of queens on the field, though. Like I said, one of them did go down, so there are 3 left. That should be enough to deal with this Banshee. Does TaeJa have Cloak? I actually did not check if he was going for it. Oh, I'm not able to tell just in the last second. He lifted it off, so let's see if he's actually going to... No, he does not have Cloak, so... That's always a huge pivotal decision to make if you're a Terran player going for Banshees. Do you get Cloak or don't you? It's an expensive upgrade, something like 200 maybe. I know that it's 200 minerals, not sure the exact cost, but I know that it's really an investment and you have to inflict a certain level of punishment on your opponent to justify it. So TaeJa's just playing it safe, playing it smart. He's such a calculated player. His opponent does have a Baneling Nest, pathogen glands for his infestors, and his 1-1 just finished for his lings. But TaeJa, I always find, is a very, very methodical Korean player. He loves to just consistently avoid overextending himself. Every move of his is wisely made. You seldom see him make a real game-changing mistake like lose a loaded medevac or forget to lift off his CC in time. Just those small mistakes that you see other pros often make. You don't see much out of TaeJa, and he does lose that Banshee, however, so I should be eating my words right now. He just made an avoidable mistake. Will he lose the other Banshee? That could be huge. He's able to pull it out with just 5 health, and this queen is way too slow to be able to catch up to it. He's now going to move in here with a near loaded medevac drop. That is a total of, I believe... He's got 15 Marines, if I am calculating this right. It's very hard to see the total number of slots available when you're scrolling like I am, and the medevacs are moving so fast. Only a few Marines die there, but not too many drones dead. Still a total of 6 workers killed, and Stephano's creep presence just insane right now. Like I said, only 4 queens. He's actually kept it to 3 even. He doesn't have one injecting at his third base. It's at the 4th location, but it came down before this hatch over here. So he definitely needs to make a few more queens. He's going for hive straight away, but I disagree with his not injecting. That's the point of having so many hatcheries, to just have insane production. These Marines well spread out against potential banelings, forced to stim up and then move off of creep. So the tumors here denied by tanks at their extreme borders. A Banshee here going to help kill another. It has not actually been repaired by TaeJa. He should definitely do so. It has 5 health left, and it wouldn't cost him too much to just heal it back up fully, as OP Terran can do. Burrow and centrifugal hooks on the way from Stephano. His Banewing speed just about to finish. He's got 2-2 upgrades and Hive, so he's looking very strong. So too is TaeJa, though. He has landed this third base, and he does have another CC about to finish. He's getting his vehicle weapons level 1 and 2-2 for his infantry, so he's going to have a very strong and well upgraded force. Look at that pickup of his Marines to avoid the Zerg swarm. Stephano just kind of dancing them around here. All this one swarm of Lings motionless while the others fumbling about. Adrenal glands on the way. Like I said, Stephano likes to get in the late game. Very essential upgrade to increase your Zergling's attack speed. He's also going to get the Ultra Cavern and start to produce infestors. So I wouldn't really say there's a clear-cut advantage for either player at this point. It's only 14 minutes into the game, however, and both of them nearing maxed out. TaeJa actually going to be able to out-upgrade his opponent unless Stephano gets 3-3 shortly, because his 2-2 is just about to finish. Stephano's 2 Carapace is done, but his 2 melee attacks is not quite yet. He does now actually have some he only has 2 queens at this point, so some of them may have been sniped. One of them was just there. Here's a huge Marine move in. Not too great a fungal there from Stephano. Only 3 Marines died. Well, were injured. And they were just able to snipe that spine crawler and pull out in time. Nothing too major. Here's a contingent of 4 Marines just killing a bunch of creep tumors. I think TaeJa is just trying to bait out some fungals at this point, but the Lings will make short work of those Marines. Here's a drop here at the 5th base of Stephano. He forces the cancel. That is excellent play there from TaeJa. Chitness plating, or chitinous plating, I've heard both, on the way for Stephano's Ultralisks. That gives them that +5 total armor. He does have his 3 armor on the way, and now 3 melee attacks, so his upgrade's still going to be ahead of TaeJa's. However, the Terran does have his vehicle weapons level 2 researching. So, yeah, I actually do not know. I used to think it was chitness plating, and then I heard Apollo over the course of the weekend say chitinous plating. Let me know what your stance is on that. There is also the Spire from Stephano, so he's obviously going to go for the other final tier unit, the Broodlord, which is always a huge component of late game Zerg armies versus Terran. There's a lift up of just one young lad getting out of there in time. He is in the red health. Let's hope he can get well soon. Now there is a drop again here from TaeJa. Oh, my mouse being a little wonky there. Was not able to force the hatch cancel, but TaeJa's aggression is just relentless, but he never really overextends himself too much. But will he here? The tanks are sieged up, but Baneley's getting huge connections on the Marines. Very well spread out force here from TaeJa. The tank line is overrun. There are 3 Ultralisks just cleaving their way through the Terran army. Stephano is now at a 40 supply lead. He is just relentlessly pushing his opponent back, but he's not going to overextend himself into this planetary fortress, as he is getting dropped now at his 5th base. Will the hatchery die? This is going to be very close. 100 health, and Windwing it dies just in time. TaeJa now able to pick up. He is playing this phenomenally in terms of aggression. That engage wasn't the best for him, but he has such a strong production power. He's now on 4 bases that he's just able to reproduce so easily. He's getting another starport. His 3-3 now researching. The chitinous/chitness plating is finished for Stephano, so he has 4-2 upgrades currently on his ultras. He's going to get 5-3 quite soon. 6 Banewings morphing in. His Spire still only about halfway done. It takes so agonizing. Oh, he does have another. Okay, that made sense. I was figuring, geez, how long does it take to make a Spire these days? Have they nerfed it or something? So he will get some upgrades while he morphs a greater Spire in. 4 infestors on the way now. Here is a bit of a... No, I thought there was going to be a drop on the way, but there was not. I heard some sort of a loading. Maybe it was just unloading sound. Both players at 200. TaeJa now getting a PF at his 5th location. How often do you hear that? A 5th base at 19 minutes into the game. Stephano sees it. He's going to move in with 2 burrowed infestors. His hive cluster is indeed under attack. This 5th hatchery just seemingly never allowed to go down. So to finish, let's see if Stephano's going to return the favor by killing the 5th CC. He's actually might be able to snipe it before it is pulled back into the base and repaired. He will be able to do so. So the planetary fortress was cancelled and the base lifted off, but that will definitely delay TaeJa some. He was pushing in a little bit here on the left-hand side, but nothing too major. He's getting his flyer attacks level 1. He has so many Ultralisks on the field. That's 10 5-3 Ultras. Right now, there are some Lings just running in through here. Let's see how much damage they can do with their Adrenal Glands, Metabolic Boost, and 3-3 against these SCVs, racking up a few kills, not too many. A total of 8 SCVs have died, so that is pretty nice there. from Stephano. Will his fourth hatch die? It is going to. So TaeJa and Stephano trading blows here. I'm not sure why the Zerg is not reacting to this. He could have intercepted the Force and maybe even gotten a fungal off the Medivacs. He is now morphing in his greatest Briar with 6 Corruptors shortly going to be out on the field. There's a good fungal on some Medivacs, crushing some Bio Forces there from TaeJa, but he is forced back by the Siege Tank line. This Ultra very, very lucky to be living today. He only had 12 health after that little engagement. Here is missile attacks level 1 on the way from Stephano. He always... Actually, no, he doesn't always, but Slivko, I believe, was the one to get very, very late missile attacks just for infested Terrans, I think it is, or Broodlords, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe both. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense just to be for infested Terrans, but definitely the Broodling Strike to be upgraded. Or no, that doesn't even make sense. My bad. No, that's what Flyer attacks does. So likely just for infested Terrans, and because it's so much in the late game, that why not? If you can afford it. Stephano has 6k minerals bank, so he really, really can. Ultra's really thinning out here, though. Very nice fungals from Stephano, but his infestors and Ultra's completely wiped out. He was able to get a good trade-off there, but I'm not sure it was the best idea to suicide that many Ultralisks. I think 5 or something of that sort died. He only does have 5 left, so that would make sense. He's going to go kill this 4th hatch yet again. He's just not letting Stephano get a strong footing, yet he has still not reproduced his 5th here. Let's see what Stephano can do here. He's deciding not to engage, just pulling back. He's able to fungal a lot of the Vikings. That will give essential protection to his Broodlords. And can I minimize this? Yes, I can for larger battles. It only works on Blizzard maps, so I'm glad to see it works here. Not going to need it just yet. Are we going to need it? Yes, we are. These tanks, this one tank here, unsieged, a couple of them die. Stephano being very wise here, though, and pulling back. He does have some Broodlords. They are not really threatened by the Vikings. The Viking count only have 4. No upgrades on them either from TaeJa. He is getting a Thor, and now 5 Vikings shortly about to pop out. He's got 14 Marines at a time. There's going to be missile attacks level 1 about to finish, and flyer attacks level 2 on the way with his flyer carapace level 1. He's got 6 Corruptors shortly going to finish for even more Broodlords. He has, how many does he have on the field right now? He has a total of 8. That is 1 less than his opponent's Viking count, who is now getting missile attacks level 1. Force air units. Stephano should pull out here. Not sure if this is the best engage. His Ultra's trying to cleave through some bio units who have been bungled. Very nicely done there from Stephano. But the Ultra's dying so fast to Marauder shots. And now I think our Zerg player better pull out. He's a little bit overextended with these Broodlords. Will they die? Those are 6 ripe Broodlords ready to be shot down by the Marines. Huge loss there for Stephano. His supplies dwindling now down to 130 there for a minute. But he has such a huge bank that he's able to reproduce it. He does not have enough gas, however. Still, again, trying to reproduce this hatchery frantically. The Spore Crawler is actually going to die. And if TaeJa's able to kill the 5th base, that could be absolutely huge for him. He would completely deny his opponent's mining. Stephano has so many minerals, but his gas bank is way too small. Quite the inverse here from TaeJa. He has 2k gas. Huge fungal off there, though, on all the bio. The Vikings, the Medivacs, that force just dies all at once. Did you see that? This is such a tense game. I have no idea who has it. 2 Broodlords here just dealing damage to some of the Marines. Gonna set myself to busy real quick. And Stephano again trying to reproduce the hatchery at the 4th location. Is it even worth it at this point? Yes, there are a lot of minerals. I thought it might be mined out, but he hasn't actually had any opportunity to mine it at all. There's the 5th CC from TaeJa, so he's able to get, I believe he just lifted off his main. He's able to get nice and mining there. He's got a few SCVs working on the last mineral fields of his natural. This map getting closer and closer to mined out. This is really what TvZ should be all about. I'm wondering if TaeJa's going to get any Ravens because he has so much gas. Here's a little bit of an engagement here. The Thor's just dealing with anything that comes their way. They have 2 upgrades on their weapons. Here's a pretty decent Banewing detonations there from Stephano. TaeJa still has 2 Thors strong. He's lifting up his weakened ones, actually. That is huge. Hugely amazing, Micro. Just lift up the wounded Thor and save it from imminent demise. I think it's shortly going to die. No, he lifts up another wounded one and is able to keep it alive. His Thor's, 2 of them in the red, and he's just somehow managing this. He's able to lift them all off, but will his Medivacs get fungal? Does Stephano have enough energy? He does not, but Oh, that would have been huge if he could have fungled those medevacs. His Infestor's now trapped. He throws down a few infested turrets. Here's another draw. Oh, actually another CC just over the hatchery. I thought there was a drop. So just a little bit of guerrilla warfare here going on. This one Ultralisk just going to reach the rank of Slayer before dying. And another one pressing on here. He is a Predator. This Thor has 15 kills, and it finally dies. A pretty good number of medevacs here getting away from TaeJa. Stephano not able to fungal them. He just seemingly never has enough energy on his infestors for some nice fungals, even though that would be huge. TaeJa just scouting around here with this command center. He has a total of 61 harvesters to his opponent's 75. Here's another engagement here. Both players boasting banks of various resources. TaeJa of gas, Stephano still of minerals. Nothing's really changed. The supplies very, very close. What are our army supplies at? TaeJa actually ahead by 30. I'm not sure how Stephano's going to be able to pull this one out necessarily with such a small gas bank. Eventually, his resources may just die out. The Infestor's out of position here. One of them does die, and now TaeJa is successfully able to kite some of the Ultralisks with no real major losses on his side. So I think in the long run, TaeJa is looking very strong for this one. It's always much better to have high gas than high minerals, as you're able to just expend it on all those expensive mech units. I mean, you don't really want high either, but if you had to choose, I would say high gas, just so that you can support nearly seemingly infinite mech. Surprised TaeJa hasn't gotten any Ravens. We've seen MVP do that a lot, and we saw that in the other series. Some Ultralisks dying there. Stephano being forced back here. His supplies are near 50 down. His opponents, just does not have the production he did before. 12 Lings and 5 Infestors, but like I said, the gas income is a control eye. Yes, the gas income is definitely actually not too bad for Stephano, but unless he's able to keep this hatchery alive, it does die. So TaeJa quickly lifting off and getting out of here. So I was trying to say if he was able to keep that hatchery alive, that gas income would be nice, but it did die. So now, not sure why TaeJa's picking up these spines. He's just losing Marines, I guess, in case he wants to come back here and kill it again. TaeJa's drop aggression has just literally been perfect. Let's look at our APM at the moment. Both players kind of struggling to have a higher one. 400 APM there for a second from Stephano, and over 250 from TaeJa. Both players seemingly not giving up any time soon. 3 Ultralisks and 6 Lings on the way from Stephano. TaeJa's bank of minerals is very, very small, but he has 4 Marines and 2 tanks with another PF here. Actually morphing at his 5th. Here's another engage. Huge fungal from Stephano. He's able to chain it together and kill all of the medevacs. He is under 100 supply, however, so I'm not sure if this is actually going to end up in his favor. He's able to get back up over that. Now getting an Ultralisk and 26 Lings. There are just 2 Vikings hovering in dead space over the creep of Stephano's huge Zerg Hive cluster. I don't even know if it's worth his reproducing this hatchery at this point, because I'm not sure he has the actual defense to hold it off. He may just have to try to kill TaeJa outright, but I'm not even sure if he has the means to do so either. Things looking increasingly grim here for Stephano. He's not going to be able to run in here as a result of this planetary fortress just sniping 4 Lings there. Their ashes becoming one with the soil. The beaches of Ohana, who have been laid host to a number of phenomenal battles in this 32-minute long game. We actually have a Viking following around Stephano's forces, knowing exactly what's going on. I'm not sure if that's exactly the most ideal situation there for a Zerg player. Did I say letting Stephano know everything that's going on? I meant letting TaeJa know, in case you guys didn't understand that. Actually, 10 Banelings morphing now. Very, very shortly they will be on the field. Only 1 Ultralisk, though, and minimal mining at the moment from Stephano. He's able to burrow 3 Banelings, however. TaeJa has no idea of this. Will he be able to get the detonation? No. TaeJa stims over and is coming to snipe this hatchery. He will be able to do so. Cancels just before it finishes. Will he get the detonation? Yes! On a ton of Marines as they were leaving after having sniped the hatch. That is actually a huge mini victory for Stephano. All those little battles that you hear about over the course of a game that will win you the major battle, that's one of those little battles that Stephano needs to keep winning to get back in this game. He's able to kill this PF at the reverse location, at the 5th location. I meant to say that a hatch just died there, so Stephano heading over to the other side location and killing it. I'm making less and less sense as this game goes on. So Stephano producing 16 wings and trying desperately to get this base going. TaeJa very oversaturated at the moment. There are actually still 2 burrowed infestors here. One being a pain with 9 kills. The income tab showing 48 to 44 harvesters for Stephano. So heading into the late game, I think, and we already are deep into the late game, but at this point, I think TaeJa just needs to try to kill Stephano outright. He has the kind of means to do so. A huge force, definitely a greater army supply than his opponent. Stephano just trying to buy time and keep his forces alive enough to get a final clump of units to be able to engage his opponent. He wants to pull out here. He does not want to lose any more ultras than necessary, transfusing there and just pulling back. He's letting TaeJa corner him until he's able to get the absolute climax army and then try to overrun his opponent. That will be his last stand, but from his point of view, things are looking pretty bleak. He's contained by siege tanks with 2-0 upgrades. You actually never see vehicle plating from Terran players. Stephano kind of dodging around at this point. When will he make his final push? The hatchery is again overshadowed by an orbital command. We saw that over here earlier. This has been an absolutely crazy game. Who will come out on top? TaeJa with 193 supply. A burrowed infestor here underneath his forces that could wreak some havoc if Stephano wants to try to steamroll over TaeJa's massive Terran army. Let us see if he's going to do so. One Banewing detonating there. He's just actually running over SCVs because TaeJa's mining from Stephano's 5th location. The drone's not even attacking them. They're just letting them mine co-workers for a brief moment in time before the wings are able to kill them all. Here is TaeJa now coming in. Will Stephano try to go for a 2-pronged attack? That would probably be the best idea for him. Half here and half from behind here. Let's see what he's able to pull off. It looks like he's going to go 2-pronged. A lot of SCVs in that composition. The tank line's very, very strong. Huge fungal on the ramp here on all of TaeJa's forces. It's going to be very, very close. Will the Terran player just hang on? No energy on these infestors. Stephano pulls back, but the supplies are 82 to 62. Will the new recruit to EG be able to defy the supposed EG curse and defeat his opponent in Game 1? TaeJa pressing forward here. Can Stephano do it? He's just waiting for enough energy for fungals. He needs to trap all these bio units, and he would be in a hugely successful position. Stephano, how many harvesters are there? Only 8 harvesters for the Terran player. What will Stephano be able to do here? He has a few Ultralisks left over. He's pulling back here. Does he have enough for a fungal? No, just waiting a few more seconds. How much energy? There's only 75 energy needed. So one infestor about to get enough energy for a fungal. This is such a close game. Stephano might be able to take down his opponent with just sheer army supply. It is 57 to 37, but like I said, with good fungal growths, he could absolutely turn the tide of battle in his favor. No money for either player, just a horde of gas for TaeJa, and all of a sudden Stephano calls the well played and leaves the game. So devastating. He could have actually had a chance at taking that one. Oh, that is actually a huge disappointment there from Stephano. I really, really hoped he was just going to try it and head in for a final push. Anyways, guys, that was a phenomenal game. I think that was personally my favorite game to cast so far. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see the next awesome match. There will be a second game, of course. It's a best of 3, but with TaeJa leading 1-0. Stephano's life will be on the line. Not necessarily tournament life, but that's seeding very important. Catch you guys then. Thanks.